everyone, it's Brianna Ray from BriIY here to bring you another video. Today I'm going to be taking you into Canva, where I will be showing you how I'm going to create a new notebook for my I guess Amazon shop situation. This is something that I feel like there's a big kind of hole in the market for. I've actually been looking for something like this because I love to kind of design. So I'm going to go to create a design. I'm going to switch this to inches and I'm going to switch this to a 6x9 because that is the size that I am going to be able to create with. Once that's done, you'll hit create a new design. Since I already have mine kind of built, I'm just going to go back in here. So there's a couple of different things I did for this design to start. I wanted there to be male and female, and I wanted there to be multiple views, so you can see I have like the back view and both the side views, as well as an area to take notes. Normally people like to draw arrows to things, so I kind of left space for that, space for a design title, as well as measurements if this is something that you're actually intending to use. So if you're like me and you are a theater person, perhaps you might want folks' measurements so that you can actually create these styles that you have kind of put together. All I did here is this is, of course, a line that I added in. You can change the line weight by clicking this guy up here and dragging and dropping this. You can even change it to be dotted or dashed or whatever the case may be. I just want mine flat. You can, of course, change your color and add arrows, dots, whatever to the end. You can go to text and add a text box. But the best part of Canva is that you can go into elements and go up here, and I'm going to type in fashion template, and I'm going to go to graphics, and you can see there's a ton of different poses. I considered this one for a while. It works, it's just not exactly what I was hoping for. It's a little too standard, and I like the way that those the fashion models look. The great thing about these magic recommendations is, for example, when you finally find like a man, which is shockingly difficult, you can click see all on the magic recommendations and it gives you a bunch of images that are similar to the one that you already put up. I did want a large style. This is what kind of the size that you need for Kindle Direct Publishing, the KDP platform. If you want to do a custom completely your own uploaded and not have to use their system, it does need to be in this large size. Unfortunately, I cannot for the life of me figure out how to make it tell me exactly what size it needs. So usually I will design it in this this format, and then I'll just hit the resize button and change it to whatever it needs to be once I get it in the KDP system. All right, now you're going to go to this little airdrop thing, go to download. I'm going to not pull out my cover page because right now I'm just worried about the interior. So now we have 8 pages here done, and I do want to export these as a PDF for printing. So I am going to download this baby, and now I'm going to head over to Adobe where I am going to adjust the amount of pages that I have.
Something that I love about Adobe is it does actually have an option to kind of make that first page single and then show you everything else as a layout. So this is pretty close to what it'll look like once it is all done. And once I know this is exactly what I want, I'm going to go and export this, or save it as rather, so that I have a full copy with all of my duplications to upload as the interior of my book. So once I've done all that, I'm actually going to head over to kdp.amazon.com, which is Kindle Direct Publishing, and log into my Amazon account. This is where I do all of my publishing. To get started, all you have to do is select that create and select the style of book that you want to do. You can do paperback or hardcover. What's really great about using this system is it is all print on demand, so it will only print what you need when you need it, so you don't have to spend a lot of money up front. And if you want to get author copies, you can usually get them at cost and a little bit of shipping. So I'm just going to go in and fill out all the information that I need here. Book description, which I pulled straight from the back of the book, the book title, my name, and keywords. You'll also notice here just kind of a pro tip, you don't need to only have one word in each of the keyword boxes. I usually add a couple. From there, you're going to select up to 2 categories. I recommend you do both. Do try to find something that fits both as closely as possible to what is genuinely correct so that it can be found. Diaries and journals feels like a right place. It's not exactly a literary collection, but, it seems like the right category anyway. So just scroll through and kind of poke around until you find something that you think fits the style of whatever journal it is that you're trying to make. I was really struggling on this one. I ended up going with the catalogs. And just make sure that you click everything else that you need to do. There is a checkbox there for low content books, things like journals and notebooks and planners, things that are mostly filled in by whoever buys it, and also an option to check if it has adult content or not, just so they know how to mark it appropriately. At this point, I'm going to be switching over to the desktop view just because I think it's a little bit easier for me, and then it deleted everything I did, so I had to retype it. I will be back pretty shortly. Hold on. All right. Now, when you get to the next page, you'll be able to publish it without an ISBN if it's a low-content book. You'll set the publication date to the soonest possible time, and then you'll have to select your ink and paper type. It is going to offer black and white or color. There's also a standard color and a premium color, and you can choose if you want it on white paper or cream paper, depending on the style of book you're using might change it. I always go for bleed settings just because it kind of saves me a lot of drama when it comes to formatting. And when I go to the interior, I will select upload and upload the interior that we made with all of the duplications. And it'll just take a second to upload. While it's doing that, I'm going to save my book cover design and then upload that into the book cover section. Once that's done, you'll just launch the previewer, is what it's called, and you'll be able to see your book as it will look printed through the KDP printers, I suppose. So we can see here that the size that I selected is actually perfectly correct. I'm going to leave the measurements for that in the description below and probably in like a caption on here so that you know about how big to make a 200-page book. And now I'm just going through and kind of peeking at everything, making sure that it looks good and that it's not too close to the margins and all that. You can zoom in. You can also use this thumbnail feature kind of towards the bottom. It'll break everything up into kind of chunks of spreads for you so you can kind of see how everything looks. And I'm just scrolling through, seeing that there are no major visual errors, especially since it's the same page over and over again. I didn't feel the need to double check everything. Then you'll just hit approve, and you'll be able to move on to the next page. So I'm scrolling all the way down again. You'll also see here, this is where it'll tell you about how much it'll cost. Not about how much, that's exactly how much it will cost to print your book, not including shipping. So $3.25. Now for the pricing part. Obviously, if you're putting it on Amazon, there is a chance that anybody can buy this, so I'm just going to set mine to $9.99. I usually only make about $2 per book I've sold anyway. That includes my novels and poetry books that I've spent a lot more time on. So I just picked a price that I thought fit that appropriately. And you'll scroll all the way down, and you'll be able to publish it. So as it's saving, it's going to give you this little pop-up afterwards that says that your book is going to be in review. So it also tells you before you even hit that button that it can take up to 72 hours for your book to be available. And I've kind of been on all ends of the spectrum. I've had it take, as little as 6 hours to be approved, and I've had it take up to the full 72. Most of the time, though, I would say it gets done in about 24. And you'll see it says in review, and until it is officially published, it cannot be purchased, nor can you order author copies. You can order proofs, but it does come with a pretty ugly not for resale band around the front of it. Something else that I always do with these low content books that I publish is I like to go into my original designs, and then I sort of reformat them just for standard printer paper. And these I usually put up on my Etsy shop for about 99 cents. I try to find a really easy way to kind of make this accessible to as many people as possible, so I do put it up there usually for about 99 cents, sometimes less per page. It just kind of depends on how much time it took me to create them. I have planner pages, I have habit trackers and gratitude journal pages, and I really just price them depending on how long it took me to make and how many pages I have in the bundle. So this one I popped on my Etsy shop for about 99 cents. That way, for people who maybe don't necessarily want the full book, or don't need the full book, or just kind of want to print certain elements out of it, it just kind of works out really nicely. So I smushed it all onto one page and then added a back with all the measurements just in case if no one wants the measurements, they don't have to print them. So And that's kind of how I create my own sort of fillable templates and journal pages. It has saved me a lot of time and energy, and I always end up with a really cute book afterwards. So I think that's all I had. I wanted to thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, feel free to like and subscribe. I do put out new videos every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and I would love for you to be here for the next one. Thanks again so much for watching, and I hope to see you then. Bye!